This is Score Golf, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is powered by Volkswagen, from one good drive to another. Now, here's your host, Bob Weeks.
This week from Augusta, it's SCOREGolf TV. We're down at Augusta National. We're going to bring you our show from here today with all our regular features. We'll talk to PGA Tour pros, we'll take you to a great Canadian destination, and lots more. It's this week on SCOREGolf TV.
Prospective, meeting today's PGA Tour stars.
Let's get things started with some conversation with a handful of international players. John Hahn is an American-born golfer who spent several years on the Korean Tour before earning his card this season. And already he's notched his first career win with the Mayakoba Classic. We wanted to know what his biggest adjustment has been since joining the PGA Tour.
The biggest adjustment, that will be traveling, That's huge for me, When I was playing Korean Tour, it was only just driving a car, but now, you gotta fly and you gotta make your schedule and be in time and be your schedule, your own time. Definitely, win the tournament was a big part of it, but I didn't really expect it that early, but it came out pretty early than I thought, and I'm really enjoying right now. So hopefully I can enjoy the rest of the year.
And who was his favorite golfer growing up?
When I first started, it was Tiger Ernie, but since Tiger, not Tiger, but when KJ and Y Yang showed up and PGA and doing all the success they've been, and I think it's been a little change, but still the Tiger, Ernie, and KJ, they're all my idol now.
Danny Lee was once ranked as the #1 amateur in the world, and finally fans will get to see what type of player he is in 2012. Already the young man's game has evolved in just a few short weeks.
First thing I learned, I need lots of patience. And golf, you don't know what's gonna happen in next hole. So you need lots of patience and just do my own thing.
This is coming from a guy who last year played on tours all over the world.
I actually had a European Tour card and Nationwide Tour card, so I was quite busy playing in both tours, and it was a really good year for me last year. I learned a lot, and Nationwide Tour and European Tour helped me quite a lot for improving my game. So I don't really get frustrated to get my PGA Tour card. If I keep working on my things, I know I'm gonna get it someday, and I did this year, so I'm very happy with what I've done.
Lee's got the game to stay on tour, but what are his goals for this season?
Actually get my world ranking in the top 50 in the world and win one PGA Tour event. That's one of my major goals at the moment.
Let's hear from some more international players. Johnny Vegas was a winner in 2011. So what sort of support does he get from his home country of Venezuela?
It was really fun to have pretty much the whole country behind me, because it's not like baseball there, where there's so many guys that the whole country just follows everyone. But here, just one guy, so pretty much everyone there is following me, which is kind of fun. So it's a good feeling. It was really exciting when I went there for the first time, and I got to see everyone, and just go out and experience my country. So it was a really fun experience. Just really gave me a lot of energy to just keep getting better, keep improving, keep winning, because I can see how people enjoyed it there.
Freddie Jakobsen is from Sweden, a country better known for its love with hockey. So how did he get involved in the game?
I always loved sports growing up, ever since I was 4 or 5 years, starting playing soccer, ice hockey. Those were the main two sports, but my legs weren't fast enough I loved playing the games, but I wouldn't have made it as a professional in any of those games. So I think golf is a really fun game where you have a lot of variation when you train it. You can practice it in so many different ways. There is you being outside. I love to be outdoors. So it has I love the nature. So just walking outside, doing a sport, competing, having a sport that requires great focus. It's so many things that appeals to me. So I think that's why I chose golf and wanted to become a professional.
And what was his first memory of playing golf?
My first memory was, first memories from the first time I tried it. I went up when I was 10 years old, and we had a lesson with Penn Elbeck, Swedish club pro that used to play ice hockey in the same club where I grew up playing hockey, and the whole family took a lesson and we all got hooked, and just loved the feeling of hitting a golf shot. And we started up slowly, and I wasn't too, I got hooked on it, but it was, first couple of summers it was more just I wasn't that serious about it. I had 4 sports going at the time, and as I selected a little bit as the years went on, and the more I played and the more I liked it, and probably getting a bit better, I got more and more hooked, and falling in love with the game.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to Canada's newest long drive icon. Well, this time of the year, there's all sorts of new gear in the pro shops and at golf stores. And of course, many of the players who were in the Masters were featuring some new equipment that's been unveiled for 2012. Let's go to our equipment section this week and show you a little bit more about what's hot in equipment for 2012.
The Technology Report, a look at the science, research, and development of the game.
The golf footwear landscape has changed dramatically over the past few years, and no shoe manufacturer has contributed more to that movement perhaps than Ecco. After unveiling the innovative golf street shoe in 2010, Ecco followed that up with the Biome shoe last year. Now for 2012, they've come out with the best of both worlds with the Biome Hybrid.
The biggest thing that we have with Biome Hybrid, not only is the story, but the leather itself. We use what's called a yak leather. Yak leather is cool in the sense that it's the softest leather, it's the most breathable leather, and it's the strongest leather in golf footwear. So it's a little bit different than some of our cow hides and camel hides and different types of hides that we use.
The shoe's Biome design matches every curve in your foot, changing shape on each step in order to reduce impact from your natural motion. With the thousands of steps taken over 18 holes, your feet will welcome the relief. But how can a shoe do this?
The biggest thing we do is called direct injection. So when you think of a shoe being 2 pieces, you have your outsole and you have your upper. So somehow you have to connect those. Traditionally it's glue, it's cement, it's stitching. We actually inject the shoe, the midsole of the shoe, so it chemically fuses to the outsole, chemically fuses to the upper, so it's one piece. So you get complete waterproof seal, you get better flexibility. The biggest thing though with Golf Street is the materials in the outsole. So a lot of the competition are using rubber. Rubber tends to break down very quickly. It's a little bit more of a slippery material. We use what's called a TPU, so it's the same material as rollerblades, luggage wheels, so the longevity is 4 to 5 times longer than any traditional rubber outsole.
Performance and comfort combine for true sport casual use in this creation.
Our biggest concern when we launched Golf Street 2 years ago was, is it a one and done type deal? We know that it's unique, it's not a classic, it's traditional style, so the fact that they're now doing streets, it's actually justified it as a category that's here to stay.
And while a number of PGA Tour players are sporting the cool kicks, Ecco couldn't have partnered with anyone better than the easygoing and popular Freddie Couples.
It was the perfect storm for us. I mean, Freddie Couples, you can't have a better ambassador for this type of shoe to the Ecco brand. In a sense, for a while there, he became bigger than the brand. A lot of consumers were asking, where's the Freddie Couples shoe? Where's the shoe that Freddie wears, the Freddie shoe? And we said, by the way, it is an Ecco shoe. So it was very good for the brand, and we couldn't have a more perfect suited guy to represent that.
Every Canadian kid who ties on a pair of skates dreams about one day playing in the NHL. But what happens when that dream is out of reach? In the case of Alberta native Jamie Sadlowski, he turned a wicked slap shot into a hard-hitting golf drive that's won him 2 RE/MAX long-distance driving championships.
Being from Alberta, hockey was my first passion, so it was always hockey in the winter and golf in the summer. And when I first started doing long drive, I was about 14. St. Albert Trail, went and qualified as a junior, and fortunately went on to win 2 junior world championships and then 2 RE/MAX World Long Drive championships in the open division. So it kind of happened by fluke, just right place, right time, found a qualifier and got down to Worlds, and ever since then it's kind of been a little bit of a fairy tale almost. This is a 29-inch driver, little junior shaft, pretty flexible, 9 degrees aloft. This thing will go probably 300, 320 yards. Yeah.
Hitting a ball 300 yards is tough for any golfer, but hitting that distance with a 29-inch driver is unworldly. Sadlowski, on the other hand, sees it in a different way.
You know, I'm 5'11", 160 pounds, and a lot of people have the misconception that you need to be big to hit it far. Well, there's a difference between, you know, being big and creating power in a smaller frame. So, you know, my gift is speed and flexibility, and in a frame that I'm allowed to take the club back and, you know, backswing, I can see the club out of the corner of my left eye. And, you know, most big guys can't do that because their mobility isn't the same. So, you know, two different body types, and, you know, fortunately I'm just a young, limber guy that can put that club in a position to create that kind of speed.
Despite what he says, Sadlowski has a gift that is a result of training for hockey as a youngster, and also some would argue is just a God-given natural talent.
I've always been long for my age. You know, when I was 5, 6 years old, I was playing with older guys, and then, you know, I kind of had a growth spurt when I was 10 or 11. Grew a little bit, and then, you know, really started hitting it hard. I mean, I could hit it with 40-year-old guys when I was 12, 13 years old, and then from there, just training for hockey. I played in the Alberta Junior League and trained for that, you know, all summer, and then by the time spring rolled around, you know, I'd pick up 20 yards, and, you know, that's still happening. I'm still getting longer, and for what reason, I'm not sure, but obviously the athletic ability in hockey, you know, 160 pounds is kind of where I'm comfortable with for competing. So if I can get as strong as I possibly can in a 160-pound frame and not give up mobility, then, you know, that's what I strive when I do my power exercises. You know, we're not trying to get big and bulky. We're just trying to speed up motion and get the fast twitch muscles just going. This is a 35-inch putter, stock putter. It's an old TaylorMade. Just got a player grip on it. That's the only thing that's really different. I mean, just a stock putter from about 25 years ago. I hit it just dead straight, and it's no spin.
Incredibly, Sadlowski has moved past world championships and made a living now as a sort of traveling golf smashing folk hero that fans across North America want to see.
I mean, I've been doing this full time for about 4 years now, so, you know, the world championship is one thing. I've been fortunate to win in 08 and 09, but really, I mean, the corporate outings is, you know, I do 50 a year, and that's kind of how I make my living. And, you know, there's a big opportunity. There's a lot of golf tournaments in North America that, you know, if you can get, it's all about who you know, not what you know. So we've been fortunate that way, and, you know, doing 225 days on the road a year, and we'll do a 45-minute exhibition. You know, some trick shots. It's a lot different than, you know, nothing against tour pros, but, you know, they'll teach you how to hit a wedge and all that. Where, you know, we have fun shots. You know, we'll hit it through a board, we'll hit a putter. You know, all the kind of different little outlook on golf. I mean, when you're trying to hold, you know, 100 people that are watching, you don't want to hit any bad shots. So the whole key is just, you know, it was just being able to repeat and do it continuously through the outing. I did a deal at the CVS last year in Rhode Island where, you know, the Matt Kuchars, Johnny Vegas were all there, and you don't see them stand up and watch a guy very often, but we had them off their feet, and it's just different. I mean, anytime you can see a golf ball fly 400 yards, I mean, it's pretty neat.
For a guy who once logged 104 minutes in the penalty box for the Bonneville Pontiacs in the Alberta Junior Hockey League, I'd say he's found freedom in Canada's second favorite sport. Coming up, a tip for proper tee height on your drives. Well, this is an absolutely magnificent golf course to view and to watch, and of course many of you watching at home have seen it over the years. It's a very tough golf course to get to see. The ticket to a Masters is one of the toughest in sports. It's an even tougher ticket to get on here and play. Thankfully, back home in Canada, there are some wonderful golf courses to check out, especially in Western Canada, and that's where we're headed this week.
Travel Getaways, looking at Canada's best golf destinations.
Kimberley is a resort community located in the southeastern corner of British Columbia. It's a scenic 4-hour drive from Calgary. The local airport, located only 15 minutes from the first tee, hosts direct flights from Edmonton, Vancouver, and Calgary, which makes getting to Kimberley incredibly easy. We begin our tour of Kimberley with a stop at Trickle Creek, a course that since it opened has become a must-play in the Kootenays. It was started in 1993 by the city of Kimberley and designed by Les Ferber. He's come up with a design that takes advantage of the ruggedly handsome natural features here. The course twists and turns through the valleys of North Star Mountain. With the abundance of land he had on the mountainside, Ferber used it to create generously wide fairways and large greens. This is golf in a true alpine setting. Trickle Creek invites you to swing away with abandon, but that doesn't mean it's easy. There is plenty of curvature on the fairways and a lot of hidden movement on the greens. The course can play anywhere between 5,000 and 6,800 yards and features 4 sets of tee boxes. Wherever you play from, you'll enjoy the views. For example, the par 3 11th is a dramatic stunner incorporating a 50-foot drop to a bunker-guarded 2-tiered green. The view from the tee box affords an endless view of the Rocky Mountain Trench, a breathtaking backdrop. The 16th hole is another beautiful Ferber design, as it uses surrounding landscape to challenge your game. From the tee box, you can see the elevated green off in the distance. However, both sides of the fairway feature massive bunkers. You'll need a good drive and careful approach to walk away with a par here. All guests staying at the Trickle Creek Lodge receive preferred tee times and reduced green fees at the Trickle Creek Golf Resort. The course is rated by SCOREGolf as one of Canada's top resort courses in the nation. Trickle Creek Golf Resort offers golfers an edge-of-the-seat experience you'll remember long after your round is complete. Trickle Creek isn't the only course in Kimberley designed by Les Ferber. Bootleg Gap is another fantastic course that should be on all golfers' must-play list. The 27-hole course opened in 2002 and features an 18-hole championship course and a 9-hole par 3 course. Bootleg Gap swoops and dives among hoodoos and pines in a panoramic setting along the mighty St. Mary's River. The front 9 cruises along on an open plateau offering dynamic views of the river and the Rocky Mountain Range. The back 9 plunges into the tranquil valley floor and boasts isolated and tree-lined fairways. This combination, along with the recreational 9 holes that are fun for golfers of all abilities, make Bootleg Gap a thrilling ride that you won't want to end. The championship course measures over 7,200 yards. However, with 5 sets of tees on each hole, golfers of all levels will enjoy their rounds of golf. The signature hole is the 193-yard par 3/12 that requires a tee shot that negotiates the wind to a well-protected green 80 feet below. This shot begins your descent into the gorgeous St. Mary's River Valley. Bootleg Gap has it all: 27 impressive holes, immaculate grounds, a full-service clubhouse with a large patio, and service with a smile. There is no doubt that you will get a kick out of Bootleg Gap. A golf course doesn't have to be over 7,000 yards long to be an excellent all-around test of golf. Consider the classic Kimberley Golf Club. The club, which dates back to the 1920s, proudly boasts one of the prettiest, most charming and challenging courses in the Kootenay region. The course was developed by local miners and began just as a 3-hole challenge, but as the golf club grew, so did the course into 6 holes and then into a 9-hole layout. With the addition of the back 9 in the 1980s, the Kimberley Golf Club is consistently placed on golfers' "I can't wait to play here again" list. Scenes of the Rockies and Purcell mountain ranges continually come into view, creating magnificent backdrops as the course winds through towering ponderosa pines high above the St. Mary's River. From the stirring start at the first tee, which is perched high on the ledge of a rolling hill, all the way to the 18th green, the course is laced with fun, one-of-a-kind, mountain-style golf holes. Despite the tricky greens and tree-lined fairways, the course is playable for all levels of golfers. The course plays 6,200 yards from the back tees, making it a true shot-maker's course, and one that requires patience. With properly placed shots, there are a variety of birdie opportunities on the front 9. The back 9 increases in difficulty and is especially rewarding to play. The 12th is a beautiful par 4 that careens along a hillside after a forced carry off the tee. It is perhaps one of the best natural golf holes in the region. The views of the St. Mary's River are awesome. They say that things get better with age. Kimberley Golf Course is nearly 90 years old and still wonderful to play. More importantly, it's a challenging golf course that has truly stood the test of time.
Swing School, lessons to help you play better golf.
Here with another tip for your weekend play, and Colin Emery, head professional at Weston Golf and Country Club. Today we're talking about the proper height to tee up the ball, and with the size of drivers these days, it's something that you just can't sort of leave to chance. You really should take some careful consideration to hit the best shot possible.
Swinging the golf club, Bob, is a challenge in itself. You know, you want to give yourself every opportunity for success. I see a lot of players with incorrect tee height, so they're kind of behind the 8 ball before we even start. Having half the golf ball or the equator just above the top of the crown of the club is good for most players. When you're really under the gun and you have to hit the fairway, I think teeing the golf ball actually a little bit lower. And these new drivers are designed to get the golf ball up in the air, and I think you'd be surprised if you practiced a little bit at how low you can actually tee the golf ball with the driver these days and still promote the correct ball flight.
Okay, so in this situation here, you got 2 balls. balls down in front. Let's sort of put your driver beside it and maybe sort of walk us through what's too high and what's too low and what's just right. This one looks like it might be teed up a little bit too high.
Absolutely, and I do see a lot of this when I play with my members here at Weston. Hitting the golf ball as high is tremendous. It's great. Your longest shots are going to be your highest. There's no question, but too much is as bad as not enough, Bob. And I think when you tee the golf ball too high, it promotes some bad swing habits. You almost have to scoop the golf ball to get it up in the air, leave more weight sort of on your back foot. You don't get to cover the golf ball as much, and this will probably limit distance more than anything else.
Okay.
I think example number 2 here, this is probably a little bit lower than what people are accustomed to, but I know when I really have to hit the fairway when I'm under the gun, I think teeing the golf ball a little bit lower than what you're comfortable with promotes straighter shots. And with the onset of these new larger heads, it's really surprising how high you can hit the golf ball when it's teed a little bit lower.
All right, so take a little more consideration when you're in there trying to tee up the ball, when you get into the final holes or whenever you're out there. And be careful what you do, and you can hit better shots, you'll get more distance, and you'll probably hit more fairways too.
Absolutely, no question.
Coming up, we'll wrap up another episode of Score Golf TV.
Week Speaks is brought to you by Bushnell, makers of the Pro 1M and Tour Z6 rangefinders.
Well, I get asked often, what is your favorite major to cover? And I've covered them all, of course, many times, and each of them is special in its own way. But I'd have to say it is the Masters. And there's 2 real reasons why I say that. One, of course, is the great tradition here. This is played on the same golf course every year, as we all know. And so you know where the ghosts are. You know where the great shots have been hit. You know where the memories are created. You know where Mike Weir was when he tapped in on the 10th hole to win the green jacket. You've heard about Sarazen holding the double eagle, and on it goes. So it's wonderful to come down here and see those places where that magic occurred. The other reason, of course, is the time of year. When this tournament is held, it's just about the start of golf season back home in Canada, at least in most parts of the country. So you get to see all the great shots, all the drama, all the excitement, and then just by chance, maybe, if the weather cooperates, you get to go out and try it all yourself. Well, that's it for this week on Score Golf TV. Between now and our next show, please log on to scoregolf.com and check out all the great information we have there, and check out my blog, and you can follow me on Twitter, of course, at Bob@ScoreGolf. That's it. We'll see you next time on Score Golf TV.
Thanks for watching Score Golf on TSN, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is powered by Volkswagen. From one good drive to another. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, Feed Your Wild Side, and Kelowna Tourism. 19 golf courses from easygoing to ego-shattering.
Clothing provided by Callaway Golf Canada.